Okay, I should be live. Wonderful. Hello to everyone out there. Today we're doing In the News number 4. That's right, 4 fingers in the news. All right, let me put my welcome in the comments. Hello and welcome to this live English lesson. Today we're exploring news stories. We'll have a question and answer session at the end. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's take a look. What are we doing today? All right, well, this is a live English lesson, so I am coming to you live. Great. Today we're going to explore news stories. And we'll also have a question and answer session at the end. During this lesson, if you have questions, if you have comments, put them in the comments and I will respond. All right. So basically, we're going to look at news stories and we will talk about them. Okay, so hopefully people join and we can have a great lesson. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. No need to hesitate. Here we go. All right, let me quick take a drink. Let's take a look. This is our first news story. Okay, so it kind of looks like this is from social media, right? We have a guy. This is called a mugshot. All right. What is a mugshot? Well, if you go to jail, the police want to take your picture, right? And they take what's called a mugshot. So let's take a look. We'll go look at pictures. Let's look up mugshot. All right, so these are all mugshots of people, right? So when you go to jail, they take your picture, they get all your information and all that stuff, right? Okay, so that's a mugshot. All right, and I'm just gonna quick check to make sure that I am live. I'm live. It says the stream health is good, wonderful. Okay. All right, so this picture is a mugshot of this guy. And, you know, he has kind of a scruffy beard. He has a receding hairline, which means that if he grew out his hair, it wouldn't be here, it would be back here. Okay, so what does it say in the story? So we're going to read this part right here. Oop, let's put that in the front. All right, hello. Moduline Hulali says, hi, teacher. Hello, and welcome. All right, today we're talking about news stories. So this news story right here is about, here I'm going to read it. Florida man steals $33,000 worth of rare coins. Cashes them in a Coinstar machine for $29.30. Okay, so this was in the news. Mustafa RZ says hello. Leah Huda says hello. I'll say hello, and welcome. All right, we're talking about news today. And this article right here is the Florida man. He stole $33,000 worth of rare coins. Can someone tell me what are rare coins? Or can you give me another way to explain rare coins? What do you think? What are rare coins? Because this story right away, it says a man from Florida, which is a state in the United States, a Florida man or a man from Florida steals $33,000 worth of rare coins. Well, I think rare coins, it would be great if we took a look at a picture, right? To see what are rare coins. So, rare coins, here we go. Rare coins are just old coins, right? They don't make them anymore. They're not used anymore. They're not in circulation, so you can't really buy anything with them. But sometimes they're very valuable, right? Rare coins, maybe from a long time ago. Coins maybe from how about Roman coins? How about that? Maybe Roman coins from the Roman Empire, something like that. And a lot of times these coins are worth a lot of money. So let's take that image. We'll bring it back with us. All right, let's go back. So we have rare coins. And Mi Tarea de Inglés says hello, hello, hello. All right, so this guy in the picture, in the story, he stole rare coins, something like this, that has a value that are worth $33,000. Mustafa RZ says ancient coins. Yes, that's possible. And rare, the idea is that they're not common, right? There are not very many of them. So you could say uncommon coins, uncommon, and probably valuable coins. My picture's in the way. Let's move it down. All right, rare coins, uncommon, and valuable coins. Probably from a long time ago. All right, so this guy stole the coins, and he cashed them in a Coinstar machine. Does anyone know what is a Coinstar machine? I have a picture right here of it, but I can get some bigger pictures. And does anybody have an idea what is a Coinstar machine and what is the purpose? Now, these are in the US and I think the UK too. But does anybody have an idea what is the purpose of a Coinstar machine? What do we use a Coinstar machine for? Well, let's see. Well, I don't see anybody in the comments, so maybe nobody knows. But a Coinstar machine, maybe you have like... Key in English says, hi Michael, hello. Leah Huda says to buy stuff. Well, a Coinstar machine actually has a very specific purpose, right? Sometimes people have a lot of coins. Maybe loose change. Mustafa RZ says to change our money, right? Here's a common phrase called loose change. And this might be in your pockets, right? Or, I don't know, you bought something and they gave you change and you got coins back and you just put it in your pocket and it's just loose change. Or maybe you find loose change in the couch. Let's see, in the couch. All right, so maybe some person, they lifted up the cushions and they're looking to see if any coins fell down, if any loose change fell down. All right, so the idea is, let's go back. All right, sometimes people have a lot of coins. Like maybe they put it in a jar or they just save it up after a while. And coins are kind of inconvenient, right? So you could pay with coins, but it takes extra time. They're heavy and all this stuff. All right. Leah Huda says it looks like a vending machine. So this is what you do with a Coinstar machine. Let's go back. You take your loose change and you put it in the machine. All right. And then I think it gives you a little receipt of paper and you can take the receipt to the cashier and the cashier will give you money. Or if maybe the Coinstar machine, it might give you money directly. But basically, you're exchanging your coins into probably paper money, which is easier to use, right? So that's the purpose of a Coinstar machine. See, Leah Huda says we don't have it here in my country, okay? And the thing about the Coinstar machine, you put your coins in and it gives you back either paper money or a receipt that you can take to the cashier, but they charge a fee, right? And I'm not sure if it's 5% or 10%, but they're providing a service, right? They'll change your coins into regular bills, regular money. All right, so let's go back. All right, so once again, this guy in the picture, he stole rare coins that were worth $33,000. And he took the rare coins and put them in the Coinstar machine. And the Coinstar machine said that they're worth $29.30. Well, it's likely that the Coinstar machine is not able to recognize old rare coins. It's probably programmed to only recognize current coins, right? or coins that people are using currently and able to spend. So this guy, there's really no way to say it. He was kind of silly, right? So he took really valuable coins and he put them in this machine to try to get like paper money back. Not too bright. He probably could have brought them to a pawn shop or something, or some place where people were willing to pay a lot of money for them. All right. Mustafa RZ says he wants to stand out in the crowd. Stand out in the crowd of thieves. He wants to stand out, be unique, but unique in kind of a bad way. Okay. All right. So I think before everybody joined, a mugshot. This is what kind of picture this is right here. A mugshot is when someone goes to jail and the police take their picture. And this is the picture they have on file. It's called a mugshot. Garden says, hello, I'm late. No worries. Welcome. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next story. Here we go. Da, 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 da. All right. Woo, another person from Florida. Maybe it's worth taking a look Florida. All right, let's take a look at some pictures. Florida is a state in the United States. We'll look at it, Florida on USA map. All right, okay. So if this is the whole United States, Florida is down here. So they have very warm, it's tropical, it's nice pretty much throughout the year. It doesn't snow or anything. I'm from this place way up here and it snows and stuff in the winter, but down in Florida it's pretty nice. So let's take a look at some pictures of Florida. All right, so Florida has like palm trees. Let's see, Florida's scenery. It's nice, right? It's by the ocean. They have beautiful sunsets. They have alligators. They have, yeah. So Florida's a pretty nice place. I've been there a few times. All right, okay. So a Florida woman, just like last one it said Florida man, which in other words just means a man from Florida. And it's common in news articles for them to do this, for to say Florida man, Mississippi man, New York man, something like that. Just meaning that the person is from that place. Okay, here we go. Florida woman attacked elderly parents because they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse, authorities say. So this lady was arrested. All right, so a couple words here. Can someone tell me what the word elderly means? All right, what does the word elderly mean? All right, so it says right here, let me get my arrow. All right, my green arrow. She attacked elderly parents. What does the word elderly mean? Aha, there we go. Right away, people are saying very old. Ooh, I like my arrow. Okay, Mustafa RZ says old one, right? Mitare Dingley says very old. Leah Huda says very old person. Madulaine Hudali says very old. Right, so elderly means really old. You could say very old, sure. Okay, so the Florida woman attacked elderly parents. I guess her parents, range, because they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse. So maybe we need to figure out, what do you guys think? What is Outback Steakhouse? What is Outback Steakhouse? In a moment, we'll go find some, we'll go take a look at some pictures of Outback Steakhouse. But what kind of business is Outback Steakhouse? Key in English says elderly is more polite than old. I agree, sure. You say old people, it's not too rude, but it's a little bit rude and direct. If you say elderly people, it's a bit more respectful, sure. Leah Huda says the name of the restaurant or diner, I think you meant with one N, D-I-N-E-R. Let's see, a diner is a type of restaurant. Dinner has two N's, diner has one N. All right, Mitare d'Inglés says not a clue. A diner, yes, a diner. Okay, well let's go take a look at some pictures of Outback Steakhouse. I've been there just a couple times. Oh, Leah Huda, no need to apologize. Okay, Outback Steakhouse. There we go. All right. So, Outback Steakhouse, it serves traditional American food. A lot of steaks. Maybe there's quesadillas, French fries, macaroni. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Let's say menu. All right, so there's the menu. Let's see. Yes. It's what I would call heavy food. Heavy food, when I say heavy food, I mean it makes me feel tired after I eat it. Versus if I eat like a salad or something like that, I don't feel like I lose energy and I don't get tired. But this is kind of heavy food, but it's delicious. It is very delicious. Okay, so Outback Steakhouse. Let's see, inside restaurant. Okay, so this could be inside Outback Steakhouse restaurant. They probably have a bar area, and they also have like a seating area. But it's a lot of traditional American food, right? And there are a lot of different Outback Steakhouses. It's a franchise. Mustafa RZ says light food versus heavy food, right? I think it's how much energy it takes for us to digest it. If it takes a lot of energy, then it sometimes makes us tired. Okay, so back to the news story. This lovely lady right here, she must have been having a conversation with her parents, and she's like, oh, Mom, Dad, I want to go to Outback Steakhouse. And the parents are like, no, not tonight. You know, my back aches. I'm 85 years old. I don't feel like going to Outback Steakhouse. And the woman freaked out. She flipped out. Woo, this is a good phrase. She flipped out and attacked her parents. What does it mean if we say she flipped out? What do you think? Leah Huda says she looks like crazy. All right. So, can you guys tell me, what does the phrase flipped out mean? If we say a person flipped out, he flipped out, she flipped out, we flipped out, they flipped out. Mustafa RZ says to become extremely angry and or to lose control of yourself from surprise or shock. Kian English says went nuts. Yes, that could work. Leah Huda says upside down. You could say flipped upside down, and that would be like an object or something, right? That maybe the car flipped upside down and it became upside down. But here we're talking about her emotional state. And yes, she flipped out. She became extremely angry. In this situation, extremely angry and attacked her parents. You won't bring me to Outback Steakhouse? I'll show you. Right. And then her parents probably called the police. All right. And it says, authorities say. Here we go. So they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse. Authorities say. Can you guys tell me, what does it mean by authorities? What are we talking about? All right, who are the authorities? What are we talking about? See, Leah Huda says the police. Exactly. It's probably going to be the government, the police, right? Police, right. All right, let's see. Garden says get mad and push them. It's possible. I mean, we don't know. If you attack someone, it's probably physical. Maybe you push them, maybe you hit them, maybe you slap them. Slap is like with an open hand. Pow, pow. Punch is with the closed fist. Hit is usually with, hit just means to strike, to make body contact, but in a hard, aggressive way. Mitarea de Inglés says to go mad. Flipped out, to go mad. Yes, good. All right, Keen English says the officials. Sure, you could say the officials. Officials. And this would be like, the police officers, the people that came to probably arrest this lady, because this is another mugshot photo. All right. Mustafa RZ says a group of people with official responsibility for a particular area of activity. All right, sure. So it could be the police officers that worked in her area that responded to the call when her parents are calling and said, our daughter is attacking us because we won't bring her to Outback Steakhouse. There's got to be a lot of love in this family. Garden says reporters. Well, I wouldn't say reporters. The reporters probably want to talk with the authorities because the authorities will have the details, right? The juicy information about what happened. So the reporters will interview the authorities. And sometimes the authorities will have what's called a press release. I'm going to put it down here, a press release. Or issue a statement or issue a press release. And let's take a look. Oh no, I'm sorry, a press, what would we call it? Press conference. There we are, press conference. All right, let's take a look. What does that mean in pictures? If you have a press conference, and now this could be something with like, it could be the government, it could be a celebrity, it could be a sports star. But in the case we have, maybe it's the police and all the reporters come and they want to know and they want to hear what they're saying. So maybe there's a press conference and they take questions. Usually someone has a speech prepared first and they give a statement. This is what happened. This is what we know in the case at this time. We have new evidence that shines a light on right? And then the reporters are like, oh, but I heard this and this and this, right? So it's a press conference. All right. Let's see, Leah Huda says, please, can you tell us more about what's a mugshot? I can. I can show you. Mugshot. A mugshot is a police photo, right? So when you get arrested, the police want to have a picture of you in their file. So they put you up against a wall and they take a picture of your face, right? So in the future, this guy had a rough night. I think they all had a rough night. In the future, they have a picture of you in their file, right? So if you keep committing crimes, they can see what you look like and, stuff like that. All right, let's see. Mustafa RZ says, I am equipped with a state-of-the-art dictionary. I'm impressed. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. Leah Huda says authorities could be somebody in power sometimes. Yes, sure. Usually it's someone government related, right? So military, it could be military officials, it could be the police, it could even be like the governor or a mayor, kind of like the head of the government or someone who has power or control. All right. Okay, so this one, the nice lady, the mean lady, attacked her parents. So, why don't you guys tell me, how long do you think this lady had to stay in jail? I don't know the answer, but we can talk about it. So this lady attacked her parents. What are the factors you think that would decide how long she stays in jail? What do you think? What do you think? How long do you think this... Key in English says 6 months. It's possible. 6 months would probably be a long time. Well, it depends. Depends on what. What do we need to know that will give us a better idea about how long this lady had to stay in jail? What do you think? Mitare in English says the face of this woman is like she's very crazy. Yeah. Mustafa RZ says she doesn't look like to be a nice woman afterwards. Right. Well, let's see. So we're talking about what are the reasons for how long the judge decides that she needs to be in jail. What kind of information would change? how long she might stay in jail. What do you think? Lehuda says like a prisoner with hard work. Okay. Mustafa Arzia says it depends on her emotional mood, right? If she's talking to the judge and she's like, "Ugh," and she's like, screw you and whatever, she might have to stay in jail for a longer time. But it also depends on the victims, right? Did she hurt her parents badly? Did they have to go to the hospital? Or was it just she pushed them a little bit and they fell down, but they're not hurt? It depends on the crime, right? Mustafa Arzi says if she has a psychological condition, yes, that could affect it very much. Yes. Huh? So we're talking about the severity of the crime. Let me type it in here. The severity of the crime. Lehuda says, teacher, you know more because you were a police officer. I was, so I have some information to give. Usually, the number one thing that the judges think about before they say, you're going to jail for 2 years, 3 years, a month, 6 months, is the severity of the crime. All right, so severity is a nice word. Let's look in the dictionary. Let's see if I can beat Mustafa RZ. What does the word severity mean? Here we go, I'm putting it in. Here we go, severity. Severity. Let's hear the pronunciation.
Severity. Severity.
Ooh, it's a female voice this time.
Severity.
Severity, right. Okay. The fact or condition of being severe. Leah Huda says intensity. Yes, that's a very good word. So it's always kind of frustrating when we look up a word and they give us a word in the definition that's pretty much the same. So let's look up severe. Leah Huda says how harsh the condition is. Exactly. So it depends on how severe something is. Let's hear the pronunciation.
Severe.
Severe. Okay. Very great. Intense. Acute. Very bad. Serious. Critical. Grave. Dire. Let's see. Mitaria de Inglés says, how did a police officer become a teacher? The world is full of crazy things. Okay. All right. Let's see. Right. Rayhan Avi says, you're awesome, dude. All right. Thanks for the compliment. Mustafa RZ says the fine and the crime should be proportional. All right. So the punishment and the crime should fit each other, right? Okay. So we were talking about the severity of the crime, which basically means how serious or hurtful was the crime. So if you really hurt someone bad, you're probably going to go to jail for a long time. If you didn't hurt them too bad, but you caused them inconvenience and they had to, they lost money or something, maybe the judge will make you go to jail or make you pay for, to fix the stuff. Right? The severity of the crime. Okay? Key English says so many synonyms for the word. English is wonderful. I think most languages are like that, especially like common words that are used so often, so people find other ways to say it. All right, so let's move to the next one. Here we go. All right, here we go. This is the headline. 53-year-old man arrested after kicking a 6-year-old girl because she picked up his Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Everyone today seems to be crazy. Maybe I should have picked happier stories. But the stories today are full of drama, for sure. Okay, so 53-year-old man, all right, arrested. So can you guys tell me, what does the word arrested mean? Keen English says, what's token? We will get there. We're going to start towards on the first line. 53-year-old man. So we have this guy here. He's 53 years old. What does arrested mean? Can someone tell me? Leahuda says caught by the police. I think that is a wonderful definition. I'm going to put it word for word. Caught by the police. Keanu says captured by the police. Yes, yes. And can you guys tell me what happens when you're arrested? Unfortunately, well, it was part of my job, but yes, I had to arrest many people. What is usually the first or one of the first things that happens when someone is arrested? What do the police do? What is almost the first thing that the police do when they arrest someone? Can you guys tell me? Right, Mustafa RZ, I think he went to his state of the art dictionary. Here he says, arrest. If the police arrest someone, they take them away, ask them about a crime that they might have committed. Well, they will do that. Yes, that's right. That will come later on, right? Leahuda says cuffing. Keen English says they take him to the police station. Ooh, hopefully they do something before they take him to the police station. Very important, and Leahuda is right. They have to cuff them, right? So what does that mean, cuff? Cuff is short. Leahuda, do you know what is cuff short for? It's a short word, but there's a longer word. Yep, Leahuda says they might say don't move, but the word cuff, it's the correct word, but what is it short for? What do you think? All right, there is a longer word. It's called handcuff. Handcuff, right? So these are handcuffs. So, Leahuda says, nope, I'm sorry. No need to apologize. Yes, but cuffing is correct. It's a short way to say handcuffing. Yes, Keen English says, right. Handcuffing. Okay, so, handcuff, these are handcuffs. So these are handcuffs. When I was working, I always had 2 pair of handcuffs, because sometimes you need more than 1 pair. And it's called a pair of handcuffs, right? Because there are 2 parts, 1 for each arm. It gets a little bit more interesting, or 1 for each wrist. It's more interesting when someone doesn't have an arm. I arrested one guy before who didn't have an arm below the elbow. And it was kind of weird. It's like, what do you do? So we ended up putting the handcuff on one of his wrists and then I think clipping it to a post or something else, but that was kind of strange. Okay, so we have a pair of handcuffs. Mustafa RZ found another definition for a cuff, and he's talking about a sleeve cuff. We'll explore. Let's see, cuff of sleeves. Cuff. Let's see, sleeve cuff. Shirt cuff. We'll do that. Shirt cuff. Okay, so this can be a cuff as well. It's the part at the end of your sleeve that you can button together, right? So these are cuffs. So it's very interesting that handcuffs are almost similar, right? So they both, go by the wrist area. All right, so let's go back to handcuffs. All right, so handcuffs, if you are handcuffed, person handcuffed. All right, so the first thing we do, you put them in handcuffs. It's not always nice, it's definitely not comfortable. When I was at the academy, they put handcuffs on us and we had to do a lot of physical stuff and they hurt. Especially if they're too tight, they dig into your skin, and if the other person that pulls on the handcuffs, they dig into your skin and it is very unpleasant. So I remembered that and I tried to be very nice but respectful but professional with the people I arrested. So I would put the handcuffs, try not to be too tight, but they had to be tight enough so someone couldn't get out, right? Because that would be a problem. Okay, so police put people in handcuffs to be able to control the situation right away, right? Because if someone's in handcuffs, it's much more difficult for them to hurt anybody, hurt the police, hurt themselves, or do things that would cause more problems, right? So the first thing I would do is you put them in handcuffs. The second thing is you search them, right? You look through their clothing, you look through even their hair if they have long hair, and you pat them down to see if they have any weapons. Do they have belongings? Do they have a knife? Do they have money? Because if they're going to jail, they can't bring all their stuff with them. So we would put the stuff in a little bag, in an evidence bag. Let's see. Something like this, right? So if someone gets arrested, they can't keep all their jewelry and knives or whatever they're carrying and money. So we would put their belongings in the evidence bag, and later when they got out of jail, they would get their stuff back. All right. All right. So there's kind of a simple reason to handcuff someone is to be able to control the situation, right? Because it's very dangerous if people's hands are free, especially if they're angry and upset. They might try to hit and punch and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back. I think we have a couple questions. Leahuda says, then put him in the police car. Yes, sure. All right, Leahuda said, teacher, the police say something at the moment when they catch the criminal, but I forgot what is it? Do you mean before they put handcuffs, before they're arrested, like when they're chasing them? They might be like, stop, police, put your hands up, something like that. Let me type that. They might say something like, stop, police, put your hands up. Something like that. Leahuda says before, yes. Okay, they'll put your hands up, and then when they're putting the handcuffs on, they might say something like this. You're under arrest. As in, you're not free to leave. You have to go to jail now. Right. Okay. All right. Okay, so back to the story. Maybe we're getting off subject. I will stay focused. Okay, so this guy, his mugshot, right? His jail picture. He doesn't look so happy. He was arrested because he kicked a 6-year-old girl because she picked up his Chuck E. Cheese tokens. All right. So we need to check out Chuck E. Cheese is another kind of business. Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, crazy. Okay, so let's go find a picture of Chuck E. Cheese. All right, let's see what shows up. Chuck E. Cheese, is a character. And where do we find Chuck E. Cheese? It's a kind of restaurant. And they serve lots of pizza. All right, so if you can see it on here, this is Chuck E. Cheese's. Yes, Leahuda says a restaurant. Mitarera Inglés says in every movie, they say you have the right to be silent or something like that. You have the right to remain silent, they say. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. It's called the Miranda warning, which is just a fancy word for reading them their rights, informing them of their rights when they're arrested. In the US, it's very strict. You need to let the person you arrest know that they have a right. They have a right not to say anything. They also need to know that anything that they do say, the police will probably write it down and it might be used against them in court if it goes to trial. Right. Okay. Leahuda says we have it here in my country. The kids like to go there very often. You have a Chuck E. Cheese's. Okay. So Chuck E. Cheese is famous for, well, I don't know if it's famous, but it's well known for pizza. And games. Okay. So Chuck E. Cheese is a great place for kids, right? And I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese for years and years. But when I was younger, you used to have to use tokens. Now this is going to answer Kian English's question. Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Let's take a look. Tokens. All right. So they're basically coins, but they're not coins that you can spend for anything. They only work at Chuck E. Cheese. And can you guys tell me, what do you think is the purpose of these tokens? What do they use them for? And this is kind of old technology. I'm not sure if they do something different now, but what do you think they use Chuck E. Cheese tokens for? What do you think? I'm waiting in the comments. Why do people want, or what do people use Chuck E. Cheese tokens for? You have to pay money for them. Aha! Leah Huda says to buy tickets to play. Right? Keen English says to put them in the machines to play games. Exactly. All right, so let's take a look. Insert a token. Okay, so there we go. You have to put the token in before you can play the games at Chuck E. Cheese. All right, here's where it gets interesting and a little bit sad and crazy. The 53-year-old man was arrested because he must have dropped his tokens, something like that, on the floor, and a 6-year-old girl picked up his tokens and he kicked her. I think it was probably appropriate that he was arrested because you don't do that. My goodness, right? So we don't know if he was the parent of the 6-year-old girl or if he was a stranger, but if it was your daughter and some guy kicked your daughter, how would you feel? I would be pretty pissed off. Probably call the police, right? Especially if he kicked her and they called the police, it probably was kind of serious. Maybe he kicked her and she fell across the floor. Maybe he kicked her and she hit her head on one of the machines or something like that. So they can press charges. All right, this is a good phrase to know, to press charges. All right, which means that someone is a victim. Someone has committed a crime against them, stolen something, hurt them, or done something, and they're like, yes, I want them to go to jail. I want them to go to court. If there's a trial, if it goes to court, then I will press charges. I want them to go to jail because they hurt me, they hurt my daughter, whatever. All right, Leah Huda says, he is a very bad guy. He deserves to be in jail. I agree. And I bet when the police arrived there and they heard the information, they were like, yes, we get to handcuff this guy and put him in jail, right? So hopefully justice was served, all right? Okay, all right, so let's move forward. All right, this one's kind of depressing. Next one's a crime, but it's kind of a crazy one. Here we go. I mean, just look at this lady's face. Let me get my arrow. So she has a wild mugshot. Once again, the mugshot is the picture they take when you get to jail. Mustafa RZ says, vicious man. Yes, that guy's a vicious man. Not a very nice guy. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. This lady... let's see. How do we describe the position of her eyes? How do we describe the action or the motion or the placement of her eyes? What is she doing? She is what? Her eyes. Now I can do it in the camera. If you can see, you go like this. What do we say? What is she doing with her eyes? She is her eyes, or we could say her eyes are what? Basically, when your eyes are straight and then they look at each other, you know, the eyes point towards each other. Leah Huda says staring. Well, staring just means like looking straight forward, kind of focusing on something. Like right now I'm staring at the camera, but my eyes are not like this, right? What do you call it? Your eyes go together. Mita de Inglés says crazy eyes. I like that. There is another way to say it. Mustafa RZ says she is enjoying with her naughty deed. I think you mean to say she is enjoying her naughty deed, her naughty action, something she did which was not right. Mitare de Inglés says turned around. Well, turned around would mean like they went inside and they rotated inside. That's not quite right. We're getting there. Garden says centered. Getting there, we're close. We need to talk about when the eyes come together and they're kind of pointed at each other. See if I can get too close to the camera. And you go like this. And your eyes go together. What do we call that? Someone must know. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna type a couple of the letters and see if this helps. CRO. All right. CRO. And so here, Leah Huda says double. Well, once she does this, she will see double, right? If you go like this with your eyes, you put them towards each other, everything else looks like there's two or there's double. What do you think? Mustafa RZ says blot? No, that's not quite right. All right, I'm going to put another word, another letter. What do you think? And this one is going to be ending in ing. Aha! Mitareda English says crossed. Yes. Okay, her eyes are crossed. Or we can say she is crossing her eyes. All right. Cross. Yes, crossed like an X. So if their fingers are straight now, they're crossed. They're pointing to each other. All right. So let's take a look if we can find a picture of crossed eyes. Well, sometimes you can say eyes crossed. Let's see. There you go. Perfect. Eyes crossed. Leah Huda says, just like when you cross your fingers. Sure, you can say cross your fingers, right? All right, so this person is crossing their eyes. You can also say, I think it's a woman. Her eyes are crossed. And some people, their eyes are crossed, and that's just how they look. I don't know. When I was a kid, parents love to say to their kids, don't cross your eyes. They're going to get stuck that way. And they'll be crossed forever. So it's not true though, right? I think if you cross your eyes for too long, you might get a headache, but your eyes won't get stuck. Leah Huda says crossed eyes. Wow, new vocabulary words today. Wonderful. Yes, crossed eyes. Simple, but very good to know. Here we go. Crazy crossed eyes. All right, let's go back. So let's see. This lady has crossed eyes and a big grin on her face. My goodness. A big crossed eyes and a huge smile. Okay, so here we go. Let's read what the story says. Kian English says, haha, parents used to say that to their children here as well. That if you cross your eyes, they'll get stuck that way. Yeah, it's not true, but I guess it makes the kid stop sometimes. But I think you can get a headache if you cross your eyes for too long. Plus, you might run into the wall, right? Or bump into something. All right, Leah Huda says, but some people are born with it. Yes, some people are born with crossed eyes, right? I agree. Okay, so let's see this news story. Here we go. 45-year-old Janice Smith. So say hello to Janice Smith. Was arrested this morning by officers of the Detroit Police Department. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll take a look at Detroit police officers. So you can kind of see the uniform they wear. Detroit police officer. All right. So, all right. Looks like they have a black uniform. We have Detroit police officers. This is kind of they must have just finished their academy or something. All right. And Detroit is a city in Michigan. Huh. All right. Okay. So before we talked about Florida, Florida's down here. Michigan is right here, right? And I'm from Minnesota, which is right here. So there we go. All right. So let's go back. So this lady, she was arrested this morning by officers of the Detroit Police Department for allegedly Ooh, I'm gonna type that word, but I'll finish it. You guys think, what does allegedly mean? Good to know. For allegedly capturing numerous squirrels and training them to attack her former lover. Oh, this sounds like straight out of a movie. All right, let's see. Dogu-kun Aaron says, Michael, can I watch this again after this broadcast after live? Sure. After it's live, YouTube will put it on my channel so everyone can watch it, whoever wants to watch it. Yes, and you can rewind and see the comments and all that stuff. Okay. All right. So let's see. So what does allegedly mean? We'll start with that one. Is Mustafa RZ, he must be looking in his dictionary. What does allegedly mean? It's very common when you hear this in crimes and criminals. Allegedly. Aha! Mustafa RZ, I knew I could count on you. Wonderful. To say that someone has done something illegal or wrong without giving proof. Aha! Yes. And very similar, it can also be that you don't have enough proof, right? We have an idea, you know, things seem to be this way, but we don't have enough proof to prove it, all right? So allegedly means, just like you said, you think someone has done something wrong, or you say someone has done something wrong, but you can't prove it. You can't show it. All right, let's take a look. Let's put it in the dictionary. Allegedly. Let's hear their pronunciation.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, Dogu-kan Eren says, thank you for explanation. You're welcome. Thank you for the explanation, right? So this live will be available on YouTube after I'm finished. Great. Okay, so allegedly, here we go. Used to convey means to show. Used to convey or communicate that something is claimed to be the case or have taken place, although there is no proof. Aha! That is the big word. Allegedly, it allegedly happened. We think it happened. We heard a rumor that it happened. Okay, so prove it to me. I can't, because it's just allegedly. All right. So this lady was arrested for allegedly capturing numerous squirrels and training them to attack her former lover. Have you ever heard of anyone training or teaching squirrels to attack? Now, when I think of squirrels, I think of the cute little animals that run around and eat nuts, right? Squirrels. Right? Do you guys have squirrels in your country? Very common where I come from. And they don't really, you know, they keep to themselves. They like nuts, and dogs like to chase them. They go in the trees and stuff like that. Mustafa RZ went to the dictionary. Squirrel, a small animal covered in fur with a long tail. Squirrels climb trees and feed on nuts with seeds. Yes, thank you to you and your state-of-the-art dictionary. Wonderful. All right. So, in the news story, the lady trained. She taught the squirrels to attack. How? I don't know. But she's crazy. So she captured numerous squirrels, and she was training them to attack her former lover. You know, she was arrested, and they still have to say allegedly, right? Because in this case, the police have enough information to believe that she did it. However, they haven't proved. You can only say it's proven once it goes to court and it's in front of a judge and there's attorneys and stuff. So they have enough information to believe that she did it. So they arrested her. I guess it's assault on another person and conspiring, planning to attack another person and cause physical damage or physical harm to another person, which is illegal. Okay. Let's see. Leo says, looks like a mouse. Keen English says, I've seen a clip where a squirrel eats a mouse. Interesting. I have heard that squirrels will eat snakes. It kind of depends, you know, what food is available to them. I think they prefer nuts, but if you don't have nuts, whatever is available. Okay. Mustafa RZ says, I changed my mind about them, Kian. They look cute, but they have potential to, you know, go crazy. Just like this lady. Okay. All right. So that was our last one. All of these people, 1, 2, 3, 4, they all went to jail for different reasons. Okay. So these were all news stories, and these people were arrested for breaking the law, brought to jail, and yeah. So they probably got punished too, and who knows what happened at the end of the story, but that's not what we're here for. Okay. All right. So now it is time for question and answer. All right. So questions and answers. If you guys have questions about the lesson, if you have questions in general, I'll take a look and I will see if I can answer. All right. I have a few minutes. I'm looking at my clock. So if you have questions, let me know and I will put the question up here so everyone can see it. And then I will try to type an answer. All right. So does anyone have a question? Ooh. I'm waiting for the first question. Let's see. No questions. Interesting. People usually have questions and they kind of pour out like a floodgate, and I have to pick because I'm unable to answer all of them. So any questions about the lesson? The people? The guy that stole the coins and tried to trade them in for... Let's see, here we go. We have an irrelevant question, which is fine. We can talk about anything now. All right, let's see. Keen English. I'm going to copy your question and put it over here. All right, 1 second. All right, so Kia English says, I have an irrelevant question. How long can a YouTube live last? I think that's a great question to ask Google. I don't know. That's a good question. Let's figure it out. Hello, Mr. Google. All right. How long can a YouTube live last? Whew, we can both learn something. There you go. 12 hours. YouTube will record up to 12 hours of this live stream format and save it as a public video. Unless you choose otherwise, as in if you stop going live. Ooh, there you go. Good question, and now we have your answer. So the answer is 12 hours. Ooh, boy, that would be that would be a long time. Trying to imagine if I would give a 12-hour lesson. I'd have to have my food with me, extra water, maybe a pillow for a quick nap, take bathroom breaks. Kid English says, thanks, Michael. Right, no problem. All right, any other questions? Irrelevant about the lesson, whatever you want. Is unbearable a common word? Ooh, this is a nice question. Let's take a look. Let's put it up on the screen so everyone can see. All right. So Mitarede Inglés says, is unbearable a common word? I would say yes. All right, so I'll give you a couple of examples. It was unbearable to watch the man kick the 6-year-old child. You remember this story? I'll go back quick so you can remember. So in this one, the guy kicked the girl, right? The little girl, he kicked her. And we could say it was unbearable, as in it was emotionally difficult. It was something I did not want to do. It was very, very uncomfortable. Let's see. So To answer your question, mi tarea de inglés is unbearable a common word? I would say yes. It's something that you don't like, it's uncomfortable, it could cause you pain, either physical pain or emotional pain. So yes, it's a common word. Ooh, we have more questions now. Let's take a look. Let's see, Leah Huda says, what's TA stand for? Well, the first one that comes to mind for me is teaching assistant. Maybe at like a college or a place. That's the first one that comes to mind to me. It could mean other things depending on, I guess, the industry that people are in and what they're doing. I don't know. That could be a good Google search too. Let's see. All right, let's see what other... Key in English. Do you think there's life on other planets? Ooh. And there's no such thing as an irrelevant question now because we're doing any kind of questions. All right, do you think there's life on other planets? I think it's definitely possible, right? If the universe is so huge, and I would feel like I'm kind of closed-minded to only think that there's life on Earth. I don't have any proof, right? So I think it's very possible. That would be my answer. Let's see. Majuline Hulali says, can you send me email or can you forward me email? I don't think so. I don't know. You can sign up on ablelingo.com for updates, and I send out emails when I am going to give live lessons. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe I can show you that. Ablelingo.com. So this is our website. All right, I'm working on it. I have some things. Well, let's see. Like if you go to the blog, I usually, every week I put out a new blog article, and you can sign up to get updates, and I will send out once a week what the lessons were, and you can go through and stuff like that, right? Or yeah, if you want to get email updates, you could do that. All right, let's go. Mustafa RZ says it is allegedly said that there's life on other planets. Keen English says allegedly there's life on other planets. Great, using the vocabulary word. All right, let's see. We have another question, and then I might need to wrap up. Let's take a look. Ooh, good question. Let's see if I can get it up here. Dogukan Eren says, which news is the best interesting for you? And I think you mean which news is the most interesting for you. So I'm going to type that in here. Which news is maybe most interesting for you? And we say to you. That's right. So which news is the most interesting to you? Well, I'll be honest here. I don't watch the news. I purposely choose not to watch the news, and the reason is, it's most of it, like 99% of it, is depressing. And I have, let's see, I have kind of a test when I try to decide stuff that I allow into my life. I ask, is it time consuming? And the answer is always yes. So it's time consuming, okay? Is it irrelevant to my life goals, right? So when I look at the news and I ask myself the question, is this relevant to my life goals? Usually no. The news is very depressing. It's talking about things that are usually irrelevant to my life goals, all right? The next question I ask is it negative and energy draining? And I'm going to say almost all the time, whenever I watch the news in the past, it's very frustrating. It's negative, it's bad, it sucks away your energy, and it's horrible things happening to good people, bad people, and everything in between. And then my last question is it outside my control and influence? And when I look at the news, I have to answer yes, it's outside my control and influence. So no, I don't watch the news. If something is really important, like in Indonesia, there were some earthquakes a while back, then I would specifically go looking for the news. But I hardly ever watch the news because I find it too depressing and irrelevant to my life. So to answer your question, which news is the most interesting to you? I would probably say no news. Is good news. That's actually a saying in English. No news is good news. Whoop. Because it's just so common for the news to be negative and horrible and bad, so I steer clear of news. Unless it's very important and I need to specifically do a search for it, then I will go look, but not just to look at the news. Okay, let's see what we have. Key in English says, gotta go. Thanks, Michael, for another amazing live. Bye, everyone. All right, bye-bye. All right, Mustafa RZ says, but because of the reason that you mentioned, I don't do it in my mother tongue. Ah, that's interesting that you mentioned that, Mustafa. When I was in college and I was really studying Spanish pretty much every day, I would read Spanish news or news in Spanish because I think it's a great way to improve the language that you're studying, right? Yes, I used to read the news in Spanish, and sometimes I'll do it now in Spanish once in a while, but yeah, I won't. That's interesting. Yeah, it is a good way to improve your English, though, to look at the news. Plus, there's a lot of interesting stuff as well, and vocabulary. Okay, well, all right. Let's take a look at what we did today, because I gotta take off. All right, so we did In the News number 4, and our plan was to explore the news and do question and answer. So, did we explore the news stories? Yes, we did. And we did question and answers. Yes, we did. All right. So we completed what we had planned to do for this lesson. All right. So improve your English, become more valuable. That is our motto here at Able Lingo. All right. If you like our stuff, make sure to subscribe and click the like button. That lets us know, and it lets other people know that you had a good time and you enjoyed the lesson. It's just a little button. Like, and if you're already subscribed and you want to get notifications, click on the little bell button. All right, so once again, improve your English, become more valuable. And I thought I would end in a little bit different way this time. Let's look at a beautiful sunset. Oh, so nice and relaxing, especially since we talked about a lot of drama today, a lot of like crime and, bad things happening to people. So let's take a moment to relax, and maybe I'll turn up the music. I'll put in my thank you in the comments, and then I will be out of here. Ta-da!